Game is up. We're ready to go. This is game number 4. Orbit with a 2-1 lead. Epsilon still yet to win a match in Pro League. They blew a 2-0 lead last night. Tonight, they never really had it. We thought they were going to be able to do it, Maven, on Biolab Uplink. They had control at the start, but they never were able to score any points. What was going wrong for them in that game 3?
I mean, it's a difficult push again through snow. You have to win big gunfights. You have to get it done quickly. You can't try to win through multiple rotations, in my opinion. You get a couple kills and you got to go. But it's for a 1 or a 2-pointer. They had a couple situations where they could have gone for 1 and didn't. But honestly, it's just that first half they got spanked, Chris.
So now we see them against the wall. Epsilon on the attack first. And I am so used to S&D for this map. We're going to be watching a hardpoint, of course, and Remy on your screen is going to be right into the top hardpoint. Already 8 unanswered points. Great cover fire from Nagafen with the bow, and when Remy challenges on the opposite end, that's when he gets cut down. But a nice opening for Epsilon, and Nagafen is really trying to take over.
Let me switch over to Nagafen, get eyes on with him, see what he can get done. Is like you said, they do have a early lead here, but starting to evaporate. He's going to push up top, able to get 1. He had 1 player behind. He's going to play it sneaky here inside the hardpoint. And you know, Matt and I were talking, Chris. We actually like this map way more for hardpoint than we did for S&D. Still have a lot to learn about it, but that first night, it looks like it's going to be a really strong game type.
I like the positioning of that first hardpoint. You know, up top, out in the open, anyone can challenge. You got 2 major entrances. This second hardpoint, though, is where we saw teams pulling away from our first 2 nights of Pro League. Look for the AR to control the spawns. Remy just trying to stay alive. He's got Nagafen with him, but they don't have any AR patrols, and that's why you're going to see Orbit able to break on this first push. And now look for Orbit. Will they be able to set up behind the head glitches and push off this Epsilon onslaught? As I look through the mini-map, it's looking like both teams are just trading when they charge forward.
And Swanee crushing right now, 9-3. Had a little bit of a streak going before he falls. You talked about the AR abuse, and he was really the one getting it done. He got set up on that building right there overlooking the hard point. He was just picking up easy kill after easy kill. And this is looking similar to game 1, just with the opposite result, with Epsilon crushing right now. Keeps going this way, they're going to have a 100-point advantage in the first couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as you mentioned, Swanee's kind of taken over. 11-5. Nagafen double positive, was on a 3 streak. Remy milking that hill with royalty. I think they're going to be your key players for these indoor hills, and here is an example of it. They're both weak, but still charging in. Swanee's going to pick up the headshot on Facento. 3 straight kills as Remy is going to fight for control. Royalty, last man standing, is going to get a few seconds, but not before it's going to be Facento breaking in. Let's go over to Happy, though. Happy's posted up here with the bow, and I want to see, will he be able to do damage? He gets the wrong way, and in comes Epsilon just like that. A 50-point advantage that keeps growing.
I was on with Nagafen. He's on 2 streak right now. He's 11-6 inside of the hard point. He's got people flying in, trying to defend. He gets 1. Tack that up as a defense for him. Burns answers with 1, but that leaves Nagafen there to get the front door as well. Gets an assist, cleans that up. They're just crushing right now. Now, I don't know, after we saw the game 1 host of Orbit, and they cruised in hardpoint, you would expect at least some of the same here in game number 4 with host and hardpoint again. But it's a new map. Teams haven't spent nearly as much time playing the hardpoint, not as comfortable with your particular rotations, your cutoffs, you know, where people are going to be posted up with an AR, and that's probably part of the reason that Swanee's destroying.
He truly is. Plus 10 still. Nagafen continues to impress at plus 6. Remy, 4 captures to his name, is sticking with the SMG. And we kind of talked about it in the pregame show that we thought we'd see potentially 3 ARs on this map. So far, it looks like Epsilon still choosing to run 2 and 2 over on the Orbit side. I've seen a lot of SMGs out, as well as Facento is sticking with his ASM-1. Happy's still maintaining the bow, and accuracy has gone back to the bow for this 3rd hardpoint.
Well, Facento's ASM-1 is not working for him. You might want to consider a bow, as right now he is 6-16, and he does have the 4 captures. Not all his fault. I'm guessing he's the one really trying to get aggressive, get into the hill as much as possible. But, well, I said he should probably switch. You do see either he picked one up or he's running overkill right now, as he's going to have a bow in his hands as well. Yeah, he's rocking both right now.
Yeah, he should just ballot all the time from what I've seen. When he has the bow out, those are kills. When he doesn't, he is getting cleaned up. Accuracy, though, taking advantage of the cover fires, milking some hill time. Good kill coming in from Royalty as he's able to pick him off the head glitch, and now Royalty is going to be looking for spawners. His teammates focused on the hard point. Royalty is just roaming around, jumping all over the place. Nagafen is sitting inside, picking it up, and here comes the avalanche. The second set of hills is going to have a little bit more cover from the snow. We'll see how these two teams adjust.
He switched over and was watching Happy get forward. He was able to get one before falling. That 100-point advantage we talked about, they've got the lead now. They're up 110. Nagafen gets one, Nagafen gets two, and he's got the hard point as well. I don't know why Epsilon struggled so much in the game one hard point. We know they're a strong hard point team, and you're seeing it right now. They're cruising.
Look at this. Total dominance, the opposite of what we saw in game number one. Going totally back the opposite way. Can we just sit on board with Swanee all game? Anytime Swanee's alive, I'm showing him.
26 and 12 right now. And you'll see here, for those of you, maybe North American viewers that haven't seen a ton of Swanee, you hear his Val talked about all the time, but you really haven't got to see him play a ton. Oh God, you saw right there with the headshot. He has an incredibly accurate rifle, and he's putting on a clinic right now. This one lines two more up. That's a 3 streak. Has a 4th at the bottom of the steps. Saw him for just a second. Doesn't get shots, but there's number 4. There's number 5.
This is the perfect map for Epsilon, man. Like,
oh yeah, it really is. And that again, will it be as easy for Swanee once people spend more time on this? No. But when you're playing a map and you're not, the more time you spend on it, you kind of know where the bow players like to play, you know? They had set up in certain spots, particular spots, overlooking hard points. It's a lot easier to maybe back them up with nades or push them out with a sub. But right now, I just don't think players are that comfortable with it, and he's just in cruise control right now, man, just having his way with Orbit.
Swanee was running the bow very efficiently. You saw Remy on a nice 4 spree before he was cleaned up. Orbit with control of the hard point, but it's only a matter of seconds as you see Swanee on the flank, his 3 teammates all pushing from the front. That's actually a strong hold. Orbit gets 4 down. Burns is going to milk the seconds here. They're not out of this game yet. We saw Optic with a great comeback earlier in the week on this same game type. They started off slow in the first 5 minutes and turned it up, but Maven, can Orbit do it at this point? I'm looking, is Facetto still running that SMG? It looks like he is.
Well, whatever he's done, I mean, he's turned it around a lot. He's on a 4 streak right now. He started out like 6 and 16, now back to 19 and 25, so he's got rolling, leading the way in captures for his team as well. But can they do it? It's certainly possible, but they only need 24 points. I just don't see it happening right now. Epsilon's look way too strong through this first 7 minutes.
Absolutely, and I'm looking through. Royalty just cleans up Burns, comes running into the hard point, takes him down. Nagafen going back over to the SMG. They're looking to finish aggressive as Orbit is doing everything they can to stay in this game, but it's 15 points away for this Epsilon lineup. Remy's gonna fall. Swanee, let's go back to him at 37, looking for his 40 bomb.
38. He's on a 3 streak, make it 4. He's not going to lose that gunfight with high ground, also going against the sub. 1 away, having a monster game right now. And it could be, honestly, I don't think there'd be any reason for a host change on the side of Orbit. It should be the same player doing it, I would think. Whatever it was, Epsilon not having nearly the struggle right now as every player is even or positive outside of Royalty, but Royalty's got 8 caps to go with it. And there's the 40 bomb for Swanee. Absolutely crushing. I think he likes that this was added to the hard point rotation.
Swanee's he's looking pretty solid on Drift so far. I think this map is going to be something that plays really well for Epsilon throughout this season. I can see why they struggled though on Detroit. And
a lot more long lines of sight on this, I think. And I mean, when you talk about Swanee as an AR, it's hard on Detroit. I mean, you have mid-street, you can pick up some easy kills on people crossing, but then a lot of times you get swarmed by 2 or 3 players. It's very difficult to be an effective AR, I think. Most of the time we see players going off on Detroit, it's going to be your sub players.
Solid finish, it looks like, coming in now as it's down to the last second. There we have it. Swanee is going to break with Royalty, 250 to 131. The first time it was 250 to 142. a total change of pace here in Hardpoint as Epsilon is going to force a Game 5, and we are seeing a map next that we haven't seen in quite a while. Recovery is coming up next. Right. Swanee, 42 and 21, double positive, 3 caps, 2 defends. Some great cover fire for those SMGs who are inside those hardpoints.
Yeah, that was an incredible job. Not a lot to touch on. It played the opposite of Game 1. Hot start this time from Epsilon. They were up 60 to 10 or something early on, and they closed it out behind a huge game there from Swanee. I know, Chris, you were watching long bits with him. You saw that 6 streak he had. He was on point, playing very well. And the Game 5, you talked about the fact that Epsilon is going to be hosting the last S&D. They won Game 2. Can they close it out here?
They're 1-1 on host. We'll see if host matters when it comes to search. Last time it went down to around 11. I wouldn't be surprised if we have the same scenario coming up next, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.